7-6 in the second game of their playoff series at the Civic Arena to send it back to Washington tied at 1. And Kevin may have to slide up right now and take up some of that slack that Mario will be, of course, missing. And the second player stand before Mario Lemieux, I think, is Tom Barrasso as a key player, and now there's even more pressure on him because a big chunk of the offense has been taken away.
No question about it. You can win a Stanley Cup without a great goaltender, but you cannot win it without great goaltending. You all know that Tom Barrasso stood up big in the playoffs last year. It's generally conceded he did not have as good a year this year as he did last in the regular season, and yet the statistics are very similar. Last year, as a matter of fact, his goals against average was actually better. 3.53 versus 3.59 this regular season. However, Barrasso's going to have to play in the playoffs last year, this year now, especially with Lemieux out, although we don't know how long he'll be out. Defensively, what a great turnaround for the Washington Capitals on the offensive side. A year ago, they couldn't have shot a watermelon into the Monongahela River off the Mon Wharf. This year, they've become the second highest scoring team in the NHL. So although you like to think, Guy, the Penguins can win any kind of shootout game, that is not true in this playoff series. They cannot play that kind of hockey and win this series.
No, I think Washington is one of the few teams, maybe Detroit going along with them, that can actually skate with the Penguins. Take a look at the scores from the playoff games the first round last night in the Campbell Conference. The average amount of goals by a winning team, 3. The scores were 3-1, 3-1, 3-2, and 4-3. Way down from what the regular season is. A 3-1 game in the regular season is a low-scoring game, but it's a lot of what you're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks in the playoffs. That means that the Penguins have got to pay attention to defense, and I'm not talking just about the defensemen, but the forwards are going to have to come back and check and play the entire length of the ice. They're going to have to back check, forecheck, and everyone as a unit has to play defense without a whole lot of freewheeling. They did it in the playoffs last year, and if they do it again, they can minimize not only the loss of Mario, but they can also make Tom Barrasso's job a whole lot easier.
And, of course, the special teams always a factor. The Capitals have the #1 power play unit in the NHL, #1 at home. The Penguins have the #1 power play unit on the road. Maybe it's a wash. We'll see. Predictions, Guy. The New York Times picked the Penguins in 7. The Boston Globe picks the Capitals in 6. I'd like to go with the New York Times, world's most famous newspaper. I hate to do this. I'm going to have to go with the Capitals in 7.
Well, it's funny because you wanted to play the Capitals all this time. Now, I've been telling you that they had to avoid the Capitals in the first round. I would like to go with the Penguins. I think they're a more talented team, but especially with the tentative situation with Mario Lemieux, I also take the Capitals in 7.
Okay.
We agree.
We agree, believe it or not. We'll be back after the game. Now to the Cap Center.
Filet, Ray. Add some shrimp on the side, Clyde.
Add some chicken fillet tully, dummy.
Buy any meal at Long John's and add a piece. Fish for 75 cents, chicken for 65, or shrimp for 35.
Add them all, Paul!
A great new way to...
Long John Silver!
Now go for 3 delicious shrimp or batter-dipped fish plus fries, all just $1.99.
At this time last year, the Penguins were in Game 2 of the Patrick Division Finals of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the opponent, the Washington Capitals. After losing the first game of the series, the Penguins came back to win 4 straight, limiting Washington to just 3 goals in the final 3 games. After winning that series, the Penguins moved on to defeat Boston, and then to a 6-game final series win over the Minnesota North Stars to secure the Stanley Cup. Now, a year later, the attention once again turns to the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the opponent will be none other than the Washington Capitals. But this is a different Capital team than last year. They're the NHL's second highest scoring team behind the Penguins, and it is a team that has outscored the Penguins 21-4 in the first 3 meetings of the year. However, the Penguins are the NHL's highest scoring team this year, and they've won 10 of their last 15 games, including a 4-1 win Wednesday night against the Caps that clinched 3rd place in the Patrick Division and forced a first-round playoff matchup between these 2 teams. Stay tuned as the Penguins and Caps face off in Game 1 at the Cap Center on Easter Sunday, and it's all coming up next.
Right wing to Keogh. Keogh has a man in front. He takes the shot. He scores! The Keogh scores. The Penguins win.
Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey is brought to you by Giant Eagle, where there's a lot you can feel good about. By Discover Card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. By the Appliance Store, with the lowest prices every day on the best selection of brand name merchandise. By Kendall Oil, formulated to protect your high-tech engine. Pour in the protection. By Pepsi-Cola. Chill out with Pepsi and the Penguins. Pepsi, great new look, same great taste. By Mellon Bank and the people at Mellon Bank. You're why we do our very best. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. By Classic Draft Light from Pittsburgh Brewing, because sometimes it takes a cold one to really heat things up. And by Ladbrokes Off-Track Betting, Wagering, and Dining Facilities in Newcastle, Greensburg, and Harmarville. We're the fast track to excitement. It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Tonight from the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland, the Penguins start the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Washington Capitals. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Cap Center. The Penguins begin the Stanley Cup playoffs here tonight. Semi-final round between the Penguins and the Washington Capitals. The Penguins last year defeated the Capitals, went on to win the Stanley Cup. But they begin this playoff season without their top scorer, the league's top scorer, Mario Lemieux, who is out of tonight's action with a bruised shoulder, Paul Steigerwald.
That's right, Mike, and the injury really happened in New Jersey. In the first game of the last 3 games of the regular season, Lemieux tried to catch himself as he fell against the boards using his elbow, and what he did was jam his arm up into his shoulder. So what he really has is like a collapsed shoulder, and it's a bruise on the very top here, on the top bone of his right shoulder, and it's something that's very painful for him. We went to the morning skate yesterday in Pittsburgh, and we were hoping that maybe there'd be some improvement here today at the morning skate, but that really wasn't the case, and we had a chance to talk to Mario in a very noisy Penguin locker room after the morning skate today.
Well, I think it's very difficult for everybody. I think everybody knows that I'll be back in a couple of days to help the team to win some hockey games and win the cup again, and if they can wait a couple of days, I'll be back.
So obviously Scotty Bowman's going to have to make some adjustments in his lineup, and it looks as though that second-line center is all of a sudden a first-line center, Mike.
Well, depends. In all probability, you're going to start Ronnie Francis up at center ice with Kevin Stevens and Rick Tocchet. From that point on, Scotty Bowman, look for him to do a lot of different things during the course of this game. Let's look quickly, if we can, at the comparisons with these two teams as we go to this kind of summary view of the playoff battle.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, if you look at offense, I think normally you'd have to give the edge to the Penguins, but with Mario Lemieux out of the lineup, we're going to say it's even. We'll give the edge in defense to the Capitals with the high-scoring defensemen that they have. They accounted for 59 goals this past season during the regular year. Goaltending, you give the edge to the Penguins because Tom Barrasso has been able to take the Penguins to a Stanley Cup. I know there are a lot of people who would question Barrasso's ability in the playoffs. Why they still question him, I don't know, after what he did last year. Special teams, that's about even right now. The Caps certainly have had the better special teams over the course of the regular season, but the Penguins got a lot stronger at the end of the year in the penalty-killing department. Coaching goes to the Penguins with Scotty Bowman with 5 Stanley Cups under his belt. And intangibles, well, the Penguins have been there. They've won the Cup, and I think that gives them a lot of confidence.
All right, in just a moment, game 1 of this series between the Penguins and Capitals, and it's coming up right here on the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network.
The Rocky Mountains are picturesque, cold, and refreshing, and have positively, absolutely, totally nothing to do with beer or Pittsburgh. It's time to take action. It's time for you to write and star in your own beer commercial. Call the Pittsburgh Brewing Company at 692-1101 now.
The power of intelligent engineering gives you the Oldsmobile edge in '92. Ferranti Oldsmobile in Vandergrift invites you to experience the style and performance of the exciting new Oldsmobile line. Ferranti Oldsmobile is one of the area's oldest and most established auto dealers, with a reputation for outstanding customer service before and after the sale. Ferranti Oldsmobile features one of the area's best selection of new Oldsmobiles at very competitive prices. Ferranti Oldsmobile, located on Jackson Avenue in Vandergrift.
For a clean, fresh taste of that never lets you down. Bud Light delivers.
Quote, a Dodge Ram pickup with a Magnum Cummins diesel has the power to out-torque, out-pull, just flat-out work Ford and Chevy diesels. Unquote. Dodge, the most powerful line of trucks anywhere.
Get up to $2,000 cash back on select trucks during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge.
Penguin goaltender tonight will be Tom Barrasso.
A record of 25, 22, and 9, a 3.53 goals against average during the regular season. Last year, leading the Penguins to the Stanley Cup with a 2.60 goals against average, and he stopped 97 of 100 shots in the series against the Capitals last year.
Donnie Beaupre
for the Caps.
And Troy Loney begins at center ice between Rick Tocchet and Kevin Stevens for the Penguins. And the puck played into the Penguins in to begin this Stanley Cup playoff battle. Best of 7 series. The Penguins against the Capitals in the semifinal of the Patrick Division. And here's Dale Hunter, who starts the game for the Capitals. Dmitry Kristich and Paul McDermott to work his wings, and it slams the Penguins in, and Ulf Samuelsson around the boards to Larry Murphy. Penguin defenseman bumped in the play by Hunter, but it comes through and all the way back to the Capital zone. Al Iafrate, number 34, the Capital defenseman, flies right by Kevin Stevens. Iafrate suited up, hit his own man, Dale Hunter. The Penguins steal. Stevens has it, looking for Looney, cutting down the spot, can't get it. Murphy around the net to Tocchet, a quick shot, a save made by Beaupre. First good scoring chance by either club, and Rick Tocchet had it, but Beaupre equal to the task to make a good stop on the Penguin right winger. Now the Penguins stuff it back into the Capitals in, and Kevin Stevens, who had a big series against the Capitals last year in the division finals, and the Penguins are offside. And he was on the left wing streaking in, but the Penguins offside on the play. We played 51 seconds and a good scoring chance by Rick Tocchet. Al Iafrate, who last year in that playoff series between the Penguins and Capitals had a strong first game. The Caps won the first game at Pittsburgh, but then lost 4 straight. And Iafrate was just magnificent that night.
Rick Tocchet with a good scoring opportunity. He just kind of steered that puck down low against Donnie Beaupre, and he was able to kind of scramble and make the save. Kerry Fraser, the referee tonight, and he was involved in a game here late in the season series between these two clubs here at the Cap Center, and the Penguins were pretty upset at the end of the game with the fact that the Caps did a lot of interfering. I think that could be an issue in this playoff series, the way the Caps like to interfere, hold up, and the Penguins might be talking to the supervisor of officials quite a bit throughout this series on that subject.
Penguins second line right now will feature Brian Trottier with Jaromir Jagr and Phil Bourque holding the left wing. And here are the Capitals now with Mike Ridley carrying the puck into the Penguins in. Drop pass to Dino Ciccarelli. Shoots it. Save made Barrasso. The rebound, and he stops that one too. Penguins counterattack. They've got a good chance here. Jagr's open right wing, but they can't get the puck on the stick of Jennings, and the Capitals steal it away. They lose at Trottier to the right wing. He's had some great seasons against the Capitals in playoff competition when he was with the New York Islanders. Brian Trottier, the Penguin center iceman, out here wearing the C as Mario Lemieux is out of the Penguin lineup with a bruised shoulder. And here's Kelly Miller on the attack to the Penguins end. Drop it off left side over to Ciccarelli. Good pass to Sylvain Cote. Push it towards the net. It hit Barrasso and hit the post to the left of the Penguin net as Big Ben struck one. And the Penguins get a break there. Good scoring chances by both clubs early on. Phil Bourque cruises in. 2 high-scoring units there. Penguins number 1 overall in the National Hockey League this year with 343 goals, and the Capitals had 330. A lot of scoring punch. And Jagr now in the far corner digging for a Capital zone. Trying to cycle in there, as they call it, when lines work that way. He along with Trottier, they work it free up the right wing boards, and Bob Airy comes over to capture it right point, and the Capitals in. Shoot it towards the net. Blocked by Brad Slagle, the rookie defenseman for the Capitals. And Slagle hustles up to center, and he will drill it up into the Penguin zone. 2:15 into the first period. No score here in Washington. The Penguins and the Capitals. Bondra behind the Penguin net. Peter Bondra laid over to the left side, and a shot by Cote misses the Penguin goal. Here to the near boards. Randy Burridge. Burridge sweeping in behind the Penguin cage. Randy Burridge, who was out with a knee injury, came back to play the final regular season game for the Capitals against Pittsburgh. He's not quite 100%, but he's out here and he's had a big year, the former Boston Bruin. And around the boards, Barrasso has lost his goaltender stick. Left point of the Penguins in. Dealt in behind the net. Bondra, remember, Barrasso does not have his blade, and the Penguins chop it away to the near side. Bob Airy might be wise to ice it here for the Penguins, and he flips it up in the air. Gets it out of danger. Iafrate trying to work it right back in. But the Capitals' entire crew, too, and allowing Barrasso to get that stick again. Here's the Pens racing back, and Francis with a long slap shot from the blue line. Missed the net. And around to center ice, it goes to Larry Murphy, the former Capital. Murphy right to the Capital zone. Flip it up down the left wing corner. Into the near side, Stevens went in. Iafrate pins him against the glass and off the puck. And it comes through to center ice. Alf Samuelson paired out here with Larry Murphy. Iafrate, one of the great skaters in this game. The Capital defenseman gave it away to Larry Murphy and on to Troy Loney. Loney again playing center ice on this line with Rick Tocchet and Kevin Stevens. To the right wing, Dimitri Christie. Christie suited away to the left wing corner. What Scotty Bowman wanted to do here is try and match Loney up against the Capitals' Dale Hunter. And here on the left wing, Stevens now cutting back into the Capitals in. Iafrate hits him heavily. Langway defensively for the Capitals. And he is their captain, Langway. Perennial all-star in this league. Up the right wing to Christie, and the left side pass to Paul McDermott, one of the better body checkers in the National Hockey League. On to Iafrate, shooter deflected right in, and Barrasso easily makes that save. McDermott swinging out. Christie's here, a shot. Barrasso says no again. And now they jam it up in front of that net, and Stevens is getting whacked at from behind. The Penguin left winger, Iafrate in, and Christie. And they all jam it up. Tommy Barrasso making it look easy here in the early going against the Capitals. He looks very confident right now.
Well, Dimitri Christie is one guy the Penguins are very concerned about because he did have a great year for the Capitals in the regular season with 36 goals, and they're going to hit him early here and try to get him off his game.
We'll be back. There is no score here at the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Behold the passion and pageantry of the noble warrior within. Armed with a Snapper recycling mulcher mower with its 2x2 split level blade. 2 blades for the way up, 2 blades for the way down.
Their 2x2 split level blade cuts every blade of grass who knows how many times. It's also handy that I don't have to take the time to bag. Looks like I did.
Snapper.
See these Snapper dealers, Bill's Mower Sales and Service, Shears Garage, Mountaintop True Value.
Well, Al Iafrate coming in deep, throwing it in front, and Dale Hunter steered it to the net. Barrasso pushed it away, but the Caps were able to gain control of the puck behind the net. And a pass in the slot to Dimitri Christie. He fanned on the shot. It was partially deflected by Stevens, and Barrasso scrambling out on his knees to make the save.
Now Larry Murphy, the Penguin blue liner, around the boards and up to center, and Calle Johansson settles it over to Kevin Hatcher. Johansson and Hatcher paired up defensively for Terry Murray, the coach of the Washington Capitals, who has done a tremendous job this year leading the Capitals to second place, the second best record overall in the National Hockey League behind the New York Rangers. Larry Murphy dealed it up the left wing to Bob Airy, and Airy scoots to the Capital line on the right side. Good drop pass to Trottier. Where's he going to go with it? Put it back in front of Beaupre. Now he stopped it, but he's run into by Bob Airy, and there'll be a penalty coming up here. Beaupre whacking away at Airy. We may get an interference call and a roughing call. Now that's going to be against the Penguins only, and here are the Capitals pulling Beaupre. Bob Airy ran into him, and the Penguins will be shorthanded. They must gain possession, and they will. Bob Airy went in the net and knocked over Beaupre. And now Dino Ciccarelli coming after Bob Airy. But Beaupre used the right hand and just trying to clear him out of there, and he will not be penalized. We'll return. The Capitals have the first chance of the night with a man advantage. No score on the Penguins Hockey Network.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Home equity loans from Mellon. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Home equity loans from Mellon.
Well, Bob Airy with a drop pass to Trottier, and he just kind of feathered that puck to the net, hoping to time it just right so that Beaupre would make the save and Airy might get the rebound. But Airy instead ran right over Beaupre, and he picks up the charging penalty, and so the Capitals will have the first power play opportunity of the series. Beaupre took a shot with that left-handed Bob Airy in the net, but did not get a penalty for that. And,
well, this Washington power play, which finished second overall in the National Hockey League at 22.3%. The Penguins penalty killing 15th overall. And this is where Mario Lemieux is very important to the Penguins. Lemieux, a tremendous penalty killer for the Pens and a dangerous threat shorthanded, but he's not in the Penguin lineup. And the Capitals will try and exploit that. The Penguin penalty killing this season when Lemieux has not been in there is around 74%, which is very, very low. So there's a big plus for the opposition when Lemieux is not around. But here's Mullen, right side of the Caps in and shooting the puck. That was blocked. And controlled now by the Washington Capitals, Dimitri Christie. Both these teams can score shorthanded, though. The Penguins had 16 shorthanded goals in the regular season. The Capitals had 14, and the puck played to the Penguin net. Barrasso's going to scoop it up, so that could be a factor also in this series. Not to get too overconfident, because both these clubs can put it in the net, as we told you earlier, with the goals that they've scored. Terry Murray.
He's done a good job with the Capitals. He's changed their thinking quite a bit. I think his brother Brian Murray wanted to go to a more offensive system right before he was fired and replaced by Terry, but he just didn't have the personnel to do it. But Murray, since seeing last year that the Capitals really had trouble scoring goals late in the season in the playoffs, they had a lot of chances against Pittsburgh but couldn't finish. And they've been able to find that scoring touch by just concentrating more on offense throughout the course of the regular season. It really started right from the beginning of the regular season.
Hunter, Pavanka, and Kristich up front for the Capitals, and they work it down deep into the near corner to Hunter. That's where he's so dangerous, right around that net as he flips it up and denied by the Penguins. Dale Hunter is one of the better cornermen, if you will, in the National Hockey League, at working the puck out of the corner, avoiding the defenseman to pin him in, and then making those quick, sharp passes around the edge of the crease that result in goals. And now Iafrate weave his way towards the Penguin line. Lost it. Francis knocks it ahead of Joey Mullen. Back shorthanded to the Capitals line. Joey Mullen turned around, looks for Ron Francis. And Francis will feed it back to his own blue line down to Shell Samuelson, the Penguin defenseman. On to Grant Jennings. Cut around Iafrate. Jennings comes in and pushes the puck into the near corner. Time left on the penalty to Bob Airy. 46 seconds, no score, first period. In game one of this semifinal Patrick Division playoff game, and Sylvain Cote drags it up to center for the Capitals. He'll rip it to the Penguins in. It's stopped by Barrasso, and he can move that puck away, but if he did, it comes right to a Capital put in behind the net of Dino Ciccarelli. Around to Michael Pavanka. Pavanka right point to Calle Johansson of Washington. To Pavanka halfway up near side. In front, Ciccarelli's there. Shooting. Barrasso stops him right into front. Now Ridley with the puck out in front. Pavanka shooting again, and Barrasso juggles it, makes the save. Not out. Johansson, center point. Over around behind the goal. It comes to Pavanka. Around near side to Ridley. Ridley battling for it. It comes off behind the net to Phil Bourque. Bourque is hit by Ciccarelli, or Ciccarelli hit by Bourque, who got a stick up into him, and Ciccarelli grabs his nose. Trying to stop play and draw a penalty there, but talking to the Penguins. Swing it to the blue line, but not out. Capitals trying to hold it in. They can't. Penalties over to Bob Airy, and the Penguins have killed the first penalty of the night against them.
Tremendous goaltending by Barrasso to help them do it. You got to have that when you're killing penalties, especially in the playoffs.
Out to center, Ciccarelli whacks it up into the air, and he screams at referee Frazier. He's going to get a penalty for it. He screamed at Frazier as he whacked the puck right out of the air into the crowd. Wanted the penalty against Phil Bourque, and the Penguins already have Dino Ciccarelli riled up early in this game. We'll be back in a moment. Penguins will have the turkey on the table. They get their chance now in the power play, and we'll be back on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Recently, we asked you to give your Giant Eagle receipts to schools so they could redeem them for free Apple computers. The response has been overwhelming. But remember, all receipts must be turned into your local school by Saturday, April 25th. So keep up the good work. Apples for Students from Giant Eagle. It's working.
Phil Bourque getting the stick up into the face of Dino Ciccarelli, knocking his helmet up, and be catching him a little bit on the forehead also with a blade of that stick.
And frankly, I don't know. It did not appear that Kerry Frazier saw the play. And one of the linesmen, Ciccarelli, checked his left eye. It appears to be cut on the eyelid, but he went screaming to Frazier, knocked the puck out of the air as it came out, and Frazier's going to send him off here. And I believe it'll be a 2-minute minor penalty, probably for unsportsmanlike conduct. On the Penguin power play, if this is the case, was 4th overall in the National Hockey League this year at 21.5%. And the discussion continuing here between Langway, the Capitals captain, Brian Trottier, the Pens head man right now on the ice with Lemieux out, and Kerry Frazier. Troy Loney's also on for the Pens. They have not posted it. Yes, they do. Now they put a 2-minute minor up to Dino Ciccarelli.
5 minutes for high sticking and a game misconduct. The Capitals, number 22, Dino Ciccarelli, 2 minutes on sportsmanlike conduct.
Well, Bourque gets a game misconduct and a 5-minute major for high sticking. And I don't know who made the call. Frazier apparently had to go to the linesman to help out because he was not going to make that call. I mean, this was way after it happened. Play had been stopped and Ciccarelli knocked it out of the air. So he went to his linesman apparently for help on a major penalty call. Pateman talking to Loney. Why wouldn't the linesman have gone over to him immediately and told him that situation? I don't know. But the Penguins will come out of this on the shorthanded end of it instead of having a power play. There's no question Bourque's stick came up.
They caught him in the eye. They really cut him right underneath the left eyebrow. When he pulls his hand away from his face, you can see the little cut over his eye. See it right there on the eyelid? And that was the cut that got him the 5-minute major in the game misconduct.
Sean McEachran will serve the major penalty issue to Phil Bourque, the Penguin rookie. So Scotty Bowman, the Penguin interim coach, will replace Bob Johnson, the Badger, who paced the way to the Penguins' first Stanley Cup win ever last year. And, of course, passed away tragically with brain cancer in November. And Steven Short coming to the Capitals in, comes down, a wrist one right to the net. That stopped. They'll play right now at 4 aside, and the Capitals will get a major penalty and a power play opportunity for 3 full minutes. And the right wing Ridley to the Penguins zone, trying to cut in and off Samuelson. Can't make that play, and the Penguins again feed it off the boards and back down to Washington territory. Rod Langway trying to find somebody open, and he looks for Iafrate. Iafrate chopped at it. They got it to the Penguin zone. Murphy hurries over. The Penguin defenseman comes up on the play to the Capitals line down the left wing, looking. Beat it across in front. It's deflected, and Beaupre just made that save. It came off a stick and almost got by Donnie Beaupre. Just reached with his right arm to make the stop on Larry Murphy. Now counterattacking the Capitals, and a pass ahead to the left wing to Sylvain Cote. Cote of Washington turned around by Larry Murphy. And Alf Samuelson deals it off the sideboards up to Francis. Man open right wing Stevens. Can't get it through to him and hit the leg of John Bruce. Capitals step right back into the Penguin zone. And pretty wide open game so far with these two clubs. Here's Johansson shooting. Barrasso just gloves it right out of the air and holds on. Tommy is seeing that puck right now in the early going like it's a watermelon. I mean, Johansson drilled that one from 35 with everything he had, and Barrasso just reached up as though it was floating in on him.
Well, with Lemieux out of the lineup, it takes some of the pressure off the Capitals goaltender, obviously, Don Beaupre, and puts a little bit more on Tom Barrasso, because you got to figure the Penguins aren't going to be prone to score as many goals as they normally would score, and that's just going to make it that much tougher for Barrasso to make sure that he holds the offense of the Capitals in check. He has been sharp here, I'll tell you.
In the series last year against the Capitals, we told you the Caps won game 1, and the Penguins then came back and won 4 straight. The 2 games played here at the Camp Center, Barrasso was absolutely magnificent and really the key to the series win for the Penguins, and he picks up right where he left off last year, at least in the early part of this game. Donnie Beaupre, his career record in the playoffs.
And he went to the Stanley Cup Finals way back in 1981 against Brian Trottier's New York Islanders.
This face-off, Paul Stanton defensively out with Gordy Roberts. The Penguins again at 4 aside right now with Yager and Yuri Hrdina. They scoot up the Capitals line. No score first period. Yager to the right side. Feed it in front for Hrdina. Went by. Hrdina will settle it. Now get it to Yager in front of the net. A backhander, and he just missed on the post to the right side of Donnie Beaupre. Both Yager and Hrdina very, very good backhanded shooters. One of the best the Penguins have, and that's that Czechoslovakian influence where they learn to really work the puck in all ways. And Stanton leads the rush back for the Penguins. In 21 seconds, the Capitals will start their power play and have a major penalty to work with. And of course, they'll have 3 full minutes to score as many times as they can put it in the net on the major penalty to Phil Bourque. Turned back in behind the Pittsburgh goal. Shell Samuelson around. Yager lets it deflect off his stick and ahead now to the Capitals line. All right, in 3 seconds, Cicerelli will come back on. We'll see if he'll join the power play. And he does come on the ice, and the Capitals have the man advantage. Mike Ridley coming up. Scoreless still in the first period. Trottier lost the puck. It goes into the Penguins in. Bondra, though, had it chopped away by Joe Mullen, the Penguin fiery right winger. Joey Mullen, one of the better defensive players on this Penguin team and a tremendous penalty killer. Outlet pass to the right wing to Ridley. Mike Ridley of Washington goes back to center circle. Now starts the Penguin line. The right wing, a good pass to Bonner. Stops, breaks on. He tried to shoot it, but he was checked by Trottier. And Shell Samuelson winded around the boards, and out it goes.
A big play by Shell there to get the good authority on that clearing maneuver and make sure it got up around the board so they couldn't hold it in. That's going to be Samuelson's strength for the Penguins, is on the penalty killing unit with that long reach that he has and the range that he has with those long legs.
Iafrate now winds it back into the left wing corner of the Penguin zone and delivered off the glass and into the seats here at the Cap Center.
Well, there's one thing we noticed last year in the playoffs, Mike. It was that penalty killing gets stronger at playoff competition. I'm not sure why that is, but it just seems as though the power play loses a little bit in the postseason.
Well, this has probably been the best year in, say, the last 15 for penalty killing overall in the National Hockey League. The numbers on the power play, 22.5% is the lowest that I can recall in many, many years as far as leading the National Hockey League in that department. In the Islander days, in their heyday, they were around 29 to 30% on the conversion rate in the regular season. They had a tremendous power play, but with the scouting now, with the satellites and the video and everybody peering in at you in every game, that has changed dramatically, and the penalty killing is much, much better. And here's Hatcher now. The Capital defenseman fell down, but Dale Hunter grabs the puck. Hunter, number 32, the all-time penalty minute leader in playoff competition of the National Hockey League. Number 32, Dale Hunter. Over 500 minutes in penalty time. Worked around to the far side of the Penguins end. Looking for it will be Kevin Hatcher. Put it between the circles, and Grant Jennings stops it there. On the left wing to Bob Airy. Airy now stopping and shoots it lazily to the Capital zone. Camps again on up in the play. Johansson to the right wing to Dmitry Kristich. He winds his way to the Penguins end. Drop pass back to Dale Hunter. Hunter moves in. His wrist shot blocked. The Penguins have a chance. Hawker was knocked down. And here comes a play back 2-on-2. Larry Murphy on the left wing to Bob Airy. Airy over to Murphy. Murphy stops on the near boys. And shoot it weakly to the net. Beaupre's going to stop that. And on the attack, the Capitals, who have outshot the Penguins 7-3 in the early going, can't get into the Penguins zone.
When Tocchet was knocked down, he got up shaking his head and holding his face, trying to shake it off afterwards. Dale Hunter caught him behind the play and knocked him to the ice. Now he goes to the bench.
Well, he has a broken jaw. Wearing a protective mask is Rick Tocchet, the Penguin right winger. And the Penguins again steer it in with a minute to go now in the penalty to Phil Bourque, the Penguin left winger, who was ejected from this game on a game misconduct for a high-sticking major penalty for clipping Dino Ciccarelli of the Capitals. And Randy Burry's trying to get in, and Stanton stops that attack again. The Capital fans upset with the play of their home team. And that is one of the things. If the Penguins can take that away in this first period, they've got a good shot here against the Capitals tonight. This crowd not too favorable right now in response to the Capitals play. And around to the left wing corner, Randy Burridge comes in. Stanton after for the Penguins. Stanton looking. He shoots it off the glass around to Loney, and he gets it up to the blue line, but not out. Now he does, and he kicked it free. Loney very good on the boards. Killing the penalty for the Penguins. Mullins over trying to reach in. 17 to go. And the Penguins again driving it for the Capitals into the ice surface.
And that play by Loney is what's kept him in the National Hockey League. His ability to dig along the boards and make the big plays in his own end to get the puck out.
Final rush in. John Drew says Ciccarelli has some room. Penguins in, and he tried to shoot it in. Checked from behind neatly by Ronnie Francis in the last second. Around to the right point. Iafrate weakly sent it to the circle. And the Penguins have it. Francis with the puck. On the ice comes McEachran. And here come the Penguins now 3-on-3. Larry Murphy to the Capitals end. Shoot it in front of the net. Slagle trying to clear it away. And Sean McEachran stays on the play. He goes behind the Capital goal, but he forgot the puck. Now it's a stick tied up. Reaches in trying to get back. And the Capital steal. And Brad Slagle again sneaks it back to center. Kevin Stevens intercepts. Stevens right back into the Capital zone. He is pushed against the boards by Slagle, but Tocchet finds the biscuit. Over to Stevens. Looks for Murphy. Lost the puck. Here's Ciccarelli back on the right wing for the Capitals. Coming to the Penguin line. Dino Ciccarelli in front. Got a man there. Kelly Miller went for the net, but he couldn't take the pass. Kelly Miller after it, left wing boards. On to John Druce of Washington, who a couple of years ago had a tremendous playoff year for the Capitals. He's out of the corner now. It's Alan May trying to get that puck in behind the net. Dave Tippett working out here. Alan May again putting pressure in the Penguin zone. Kelly Miller turns. He whistles it in front. Murphy blocked it. Picked up by Tippett. His shot. And that's stopped by Trottier, the Penguin center iceman. Deal with the head to center. Both Stevens and Stevens and Tocchet on the front line. And now Trottier is going to come off. And let's see who comes over. Herdina is going to come on the center of this unit. No score first period. 6:41 left. And Calle Johansson settles in for the Capitals. Finding Dale Hunter. Herdina slowed him down. Samuelson lines him up and crunches him with a booming check. Stevens of the Penguins looking for it. Hunter steps right back into Ulf Samuelson. And the Penguins have the puck, and Herdina races back into the Capitals into Stevens. Right side to Yager. Yager trying to feed it in front. It comes off to Herdina. Might get a chance at a backhander. Let it go, and a good save by Beaupre. And Herdina loves to use that backhand shot, and Beaupre stopped him with the right pad. Now Jennings again with the puck. Lost it to the Capitals, Calle Johansson, and he'll shoot it down the boards into the Penguins' end. Barrasso, the Penguin goaltender, wind it back to center, and Johansson shoots it in. The Penguins have gotten good penalty killing here in this game so far. 5 minutes of killing penalties. And a steal by Yager to the right wing. He can turn Johansson around. Going towards that net. Yager comes in, but he couldn't shoot it with good authority. Behind the net, here's the play in front. The Penguins can't put it in. As right in front, Bob Airy was knocked down by Dale Hunter. Play goes the other way, and on back down the boards into the Penguin zone. Jennings again defensively. Hustles over to get it to Airy. Back into his own end to Shell Samuelson. And on the play, the Penguins fly now. Airy on the right wing. Francis trails the play. Goes to it. He's right there. Makes a shot. Beaupre stopped him. And the puck back out freed. Open man Roberts shooting, but he missed the goal. Good goaltending either end of the rink by Beaupre and Barrasso here in this first period. Pavanka trying to race up. What a pretty pass that Airy made over to Ronnie Francis. He made the move, but Beaupre made a better save on number 10, Ron Francis. Now Mullen guns his way back into the Capitals end. The right side to Ron Francis. Francis put it in front. Nobody able to get to it. Joey Mullen Beat it in the backhand behind the net. Francis over to Troy Loney. Troy Loney and Iafrate now battle one another in the corner in the right side of the Capital zone. Loney trying to dig it free and make a play. Mullen hangs out in front of that net. They can't get it to him, though, and it comes around all the way back to the red line area. Capitals pick it up. Randy Burry over to Iafrate. Weave his way in. A backhand shot, and Roberts deflected that one into the seats. We'll be back. No score. First period on the Penguins Hockey Network.
The sun, the surf, the sand, the babes, the beach. The truth, it's 3,000 miles away and has nothing to do with Pittsburgh or beer. It's time to take action. It's time for you to write and star in your own beer commercial. Call the Pittsburgh Brewing Company at 692-1101. Now.
Bob Airy with a good opportunity. What started this play was Airy going back to Samuelson back in his own end, and he made a good sharp pass out in center to Francis, who went to Airy, back to Francis as he cut to the net. He tried to deke Beaupre, not a bad decision there, but he just didn't get the puck up enough, and then Beaupre was able to reach out with that stick glove and the stick and just push that puck away. Francis got a little in too deep and couldn't get the leverage he wanted on the shot as he went to Beaupre's right.
Face off in the Penguins end to the right of Tom Barrasso of the series in the Patrick. New Jersey's at the Rangers tonight in their first game. And over in the Adams division, 2 battles, Buffalo at Boston and Hartford at Montreal to begin their playoff series, all of them best of 7. And Trontier carries it back down the right wing as the Penguins shot it back into the far corner. Stevens and Tocchet work the wings now for Brian Trontier as Scotty Bowman using another center here on this line. He's going to mix them up. Mike Ridley shoot it down the boards, and it sails back into Penguin real estate. Ulf Samuelson with Ciccarelli whacking him, and he slams him hard against the board. Dino Ciccarelli knocking Samuelson against the wood. Delivered back into Capitals ice. Ron Langway over to Mike Ridley. He pulls back. Ridley bumped by Trottier, but Langway able to wrist it up, hit his own bench. It hit Dave Tippett's helmet. We'll return in a moment. No score. 4:03 left in the first in the Penguins Hockey Network.
Stanley Cup has come to the city of Pittsburgh. One space left on that Stanley Cup for the Penguin names to go on. The 1991 Stanley Cup champion, the Pittsburgh Penguins, have just left the building.
Visit the Penn's Pro Shops in South Hills Village and Century 3 Mall, featuring an exclusive line of 25th anniversary merchandise. To order by phone, call 642-2019.
Savor the silver.
Well, Dino Ciccarelli, not one of the bigger players in the league, 5'10", 170 pounds, 75 pounds, and he found a good opportunity to ride Shel Samuelson right into your living room. I said Shell, I meant Ulf. Ulfie Samuelson with the visor on to protect his face as it went smashing into that glass.
Yuri Herdina with Bob Airy and Jaromir Jagr now. Jagr, who last year in the playoffs had 3 goals and 13 points, the top rookie scorer among everybody. But Jagr's a player that had a pair of goals in the last game of the regular season against the Capitals, and he's capable at any time of really just turning it on, particularly in third periods of games where he is exceptionally strong. And here's a check by Tippett on Shel Samuelson. But Bob Airy brings the puck back into the Capitals end. Airy shooting, and Beaupre kicks out of wood. On the rebound, right to Alamé of the Capitals. And Alamé out the center to Dave Tippett, up the right wing to John Drews. Drews trying to make a move on Shel Samuelson. Gets in, his backhander, Barrasso kicking away easily with the left pad. Tommy again is on the top of his game. Beaupre playing well also for the Capitals. Left wing to Bob Airy. Airy coming down, and Iafrate stops him. Jagr reaches in, hit from behind by Calle Johansson. Jagr turns around, trying to get to the puck, and he's tied up in that corner. Now here on the near side, Roberts again battling for it. Herdina of the Penguins, and it's cleared free and back to center. There was a stretch during the season where the Penguins had a lot of problems with referees in this league. And over an incident where Jaromir Jagr in this building was suspended for 10 games after bumping Ron Holgart, and the Penguins then had a lot of problems even after that. And they've settled down a little bit as far as taking penalties and getting involved with the officials. And here on the right wing is Francis now, getting the puck over to Paul Stan. Intercepted neatly by Slagle, but he can't clear it out. Finally, Bondra will. Peter Bondra of the Caps. Pavanka with Burridge and Bondra. And Bondra to the right wing. Goes into Penguin territory, left it on the near boards. The Penguins intercept, and here's Joe Mullen. Going back to Ronnie Francis. He glides his way to the Capitals' end. Drop pass to Stanton. Here he comes with a wrist shot, and Beaupre made that stick save. Off the corner, Ronnie Francis trying to pull around the Czechoslovakia. Does. Goes to Stanton. Shoot it weakly wide of the net. And Troy Loney hustles over. The Penguin left winger can't get it, but Mullen will. He blasts one off the skate of goaltender Beaupre. Well, the Penguins were being outshot heavily in the early going, but they've rallied here and have had some good scoring chances against Beaupre. No score, first period, 2:03 left. And Cote sneaking around to the far boards. Randy Burridge of Washington. Unable to clear. Good play by Murphy to get possession of it and keep the puck. Murphy going behind the net. Trottier trying to set up in front. Cote hears at him. And Murphy's going to be held against the boards by Burridge and will stop the play. 1:44 to go in the first period. Pittsburgh and Washington scoreless here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Quote, a new optional Magnum V8 in a Dodge Ram half-ton. Out-hauls and out-pulls Ford and Chevy 5-liter V8s. Unquote. Dodge, the most powerful line of trucks anywhere.
Get up to $2,000 cash back on select trucks during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge.
No, Lemieux out of the lineup. Scotty Bowman has to kind of juggle his players around to try to get players on the ice together who complement each other well. And that's why you'll see him with Yager and Hrdina together at times, Trottier and Hrdina together at times, Francis and Mullen playing together, and then Francis on the top line. He's really got to move things around to get the most out of everybody he's got on the ice. Francis and Mullen played together quite a bit last year in the playoffs. It was Francis, Mullen, and Stevens as the Penguins' second line, if you will, and they were spectacular in the playoffs. And Trottier this year stepped in for Mario Lemieux and did a good job when Lemieux was out of the lineup at playing on that top line. And that's where he is right now with Tocchet and Stevens. But then at other times you'll see Trottier playing alongside of Yager because for much of last season and part of this season, Yager and Trottier have complemented each other very well.
Yeah, Trottier won the draw, and he pulls it up into the Capitals' end, shooting wide of the net, near corner. Rick Tocchet in battling for possession. Tocchet trying to overpower Langway. He's knocked down on the play, and Beaupre gets the puck, and it comes back in behind the net. Christich is hammered. But Dale Hunter takes the puck, and he'll swing it ahead to center to Al Iafrate. Iafrate moving up to the Penguins' end. Christich open right wing. He doesn't go to him. Ulf Samuelsson blocked the attempted shot by Iafrate. McDermott on the right wing. Goes cross rink to Dale Hunter. A slap shot right on Barrasso. And again, he makes the save. Dale Hunter trying to golf it over to the left point. Does. A Calle Johansson of the Caps. Shooting it deflected. Look out. Kicked out by the Capitals, but it went behind the net. And Murphy is hammered on a check between two Capitals, but the Penguins have the puck. Two Caps are trapped back up ice. Ryan Trottier looking to make a play to Tocchet. His poke checked away by Calle Johansson. Now the Capitals start up quickly. Christich to the Penguins in. He does a good skater to Hatcher coming down the slot. Hatcher turns around, got away from Tocchet, goes to the left wing corner. One of the Capitals, McDermott, was knocked down in front of the net. Left point, a lot of traffic in front of that goal. Comes over to Hatcher. Right side down to Johansson shooting. Stop. Hatcher's got the puck right down the slot. Here he comes. His shot deflected by the Penguin defense. And now Tocchet will take it and ice it. He's going to shoot it out of danger. Capitals with a good scoring chance around the Penguin goal with some pressure, but they can't capitalize. 19 seconds left in the first period. We'll return. No score. Penguins and Capitals are scoreless with a face-off, and the Penguins in. The advantage belongs to Washington here if they can control the face-off for an opportunity. Ronnie Francis against Mike Ridley, and the Capitals do just that. Dino Ciccarelli into the left wing corner, paced the way for the Capitals with 38 goals this year. He is working on Shell Samuelsson. And they battle now with 9 seconds to go in the period. Off to Ridley. Ridley tried to center, but Shell Samuelsson took it away. Comes up to the left point. Langway knocked it down. The period should end. Scoreless here, and it will. Horn sounds here at the Camp Center. We played one period. And at the end of 20 minutes in game one of the semifinal playoff battle between the Penguins and Caps, neither club's been able to score. We'll be back.
Fish plus fries, all just $1.99.
For him in Montreal. We have no score in that game in the first period of play. Well, the Penguins and Capitals battle one another during the course of this season, and it was a capital a year for a change as they defeated the Penguins 5-2. And let's go back in retrospect and take a look at this year's season series. This season saw the Washington Capitals defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2. The Caps began with thoughts of last year's 4 straight Penguin game sweep in the playoffs that led them to the Patrick Division title. When this year began, the Caps were looking for a little revenge. On October 29th, they got it in a big way. An 8-0 shutout win by goaltender Don Beaupre. In that game, 8 different Capitals scored, led by Dmitry Kristich's goal and 3 assists. 2 weeks later, the Penguins traveled to the Cap Center and were not treated any better. Washington scored 4 second-period goals, with Michael Bobonka gathering 4 points. The final score saw the Caps win 6-2. Then 1 month later, Washington visited Pittsburgh for the second time, and the outcome wasn't too much different. The Caps once again jumped on the Penguins for an early 3-0 first-period lead. They would never look back, winning the game 7-2. So after the first 3 meetings of the year, Washington was 3-0, outscoring the Penguins 21-4. The Pens finally got some revenge of their own on December 28th in Washington. Mark Recchi and Phil Bourque each scored twice in the first 2 periods. Then 1 month later, the Penguins made their 3rd visit of the season of the nation's capital. This game would turn out to be a seesaw battle. Dino Ciccarelli's 2 first-period goals gave the Caps a 2-0 lead. But the Penguins fought back to score 4 goals and take a 4-3 advantage. However, the Caps also rallied, with John Druce's 3rd-period goal proving to be the game winner. This was also the game in which Mario Lemieux, Kevin Stevens, and Jaromir Jagr were given game misconducts, with Jagr receiving a 10-game suspension for bumping referee Ron Hogarth. 1 month later saw the Pens on the road once again against the Caps. Dale Hunter would lead the way with 2 second-period goals, giving the Caps a 5-3 victory. Washington now had a 5-1 series lead. The final matchup came on April 15th, 5 days following the settlement of the NHL strike. After a 1-1 tie after 2 periods, the Penguins exploded for 3 third-period goals, 2 by Jaromir Jagr as he paced the way in a 4-1 Penguin victory. This game clinched 3rd place in the Patrick Division and resulted in a first-round playoff date against the Capitals.
Well, this feature has been brought to you by the people at Mellon Bank. Your one.
Fans, and they lost the 3rd game in the 8th minute of the play at Boston when Ruzicka scored the game winner. So the 8th minute in an overtime game for the Penguins might be something to watch.
We'll be back with more here from the Cap Center. Period number 2 coming up on the Penguins Hockey Network.
If it's the right beer now, then in 10 minutes, it won't be the right beer anymore, will it? Because now will be over, and you won't have anything to drink. So maybe it's time for you to write and star in an intelligent beer commercial. Call the Pittsburgh Brewing Company at 692-1101 now.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Home equity loans from Mellon. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Home equity loans from Mellon.
If only there were 2. We wouldn't have to worry about the environment. We'd have a backup. But there is no second chance, which is why Giant Eagle offers an environmentally friendlier line of high-quality Green Mark products, like unbleached coffee filters and phosphate-free detergent. Each, in a small way, can help protect the one world we do have.
Penguin Hockey is brought to you by Sears Brand Central, the brands you want at the store you trust. Sears Brand Central. By Acura and the Western Pennsylvania Acura dealer. If you drive an Acura, you'll buy an Acura. And by Mellon Bank, this game is brought to you by the people at Mellon Bank. Your why, we do our very best.
Goaltending was spectacular in the first period at both ends of the rink. This play developed a 2-on-1 as a good pass from Shell Samuelson came out to Airy, and Airy went to Francis. And Don Beaupre shut Ronnie Francis down on the 2-on-1. Johnny Druce had a backhand opportunity as he cut inside on Shell Samuelson. Barrasso came across, dropped down to his knees, timing perfect, made the save on John Druce, who was the hero for the Capitals a couple of years ago in the playoffs. Just got red hot, and he has struggled really ever since.
Rick Tocchet back on right wing, and prior to the start of the second period, he went over to Kerry Fraser and was chatting with him. And the reason we say that is because he was scheduled to be our TV interview for this intermission, and Tocchet was in that locker room. I'm not sure if he was mentioning something to him about getting whacked.
I think he took a stick in the face from Dale Hunter.
Now here is McDermott running off Samuelson, and the Capitals have it. Here they come back on a 2-on-1. Dale Hunter right side to begin the second period, going to Christie's, but broken up by Larry Murphy, the Penguin defenseman. Rick Tocchet of the Penguins. Off Samuelson, rammed hard by Paul McDermott, who flattened him against the glass. That far side, Tocchet cruising back into the Capitals end. Cicerelli took it away, and Stevens will push him against the board. Christie's trying to get away from traffic, and he lofts it back to the Penguin right wing corner. Grant Jennings winding around. Cicerelli digging for the Capitals. It's off free. Look out, Calle Johansson shooting, and Barrasso stopped that with his blocking glove. On the play, Brian Trottier hops up to center. The Stevens is tripped from behind. Nothing called. The play goes on, and Tocchet shoots it. That'll be stopped. By Don Beaupre. Stevens has his shoulder pad hanging out of his jersey after being upended, trying to race up through center ice. Cicerelli is belted by Trottier, and the puck on behind the net.
That play away from the puck is just classic Washington Capitals hockey. They did it a lot during the season series and got away with that kind of stuff.
Yager with the Penguins trying to get a handle on it in his own end. Shell Samuelson taking one of the caps against the boards. And it is played back in behind the goal. Shell Samuelson will capture it, and the Penguin defenseman moves to the right of his own net. Outlet pass to Brian Trottier, and on to Stevens again with that shoulder pad hanging out of his jersey. It goes to Yager, but he can't beat Kevin Hatcher. Good defensive play by Hatcher, and he counterattacks. The Capitals very good at this. Hatcher shoots it off the glass, and it caroms around to the right wing corner of the Penguin zone. Mike Ridley of Washington will put it behind the goal. Nobody there for Washington, and Yuri Herdina flies through the ice now up the alley, coming to the Capitals line. 3-on-3 into the Capitals end, puts the brakes on, shoots it deflected. Here's Erie in front of it, deflected off his stick and went wide of Beaupre. Right back to the net. Shot by Herdina, and that's stopped by Beaupre. Going to be very alert because Herdina can fire from anywhere, and he got that backhander go towards the goal. Kelly Miller stepping back into the Penguins end. It's been not a game, despite the scoreless contest. It's been a game of chances so far. Both teams have had good opportunities. Yager right back in behind the goal. And here's Erie running in. A loose puck in front. Herdina slams it right off the body of Ali Beaupre. Reaching back behind the goal will be Brad Schlegel, the rookie defenseman. And he'll slip it down the left wing boards. The length of the ice. This should be icing against the Capitals, and it will be. And they'll bring it to the Capitals zone. 17:34 to go. Period number 2. No score on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Get this close to the thrill of real life on the Discovery Channel. It's your world.
Great shift for that Yuri Herdina line with Jaromir Jagr against the Caps. Jagr with that tremendous ability to hold off the defender and also have one hand on the stick and still get a shot away. The rebound came out, or the puck came out in front of Beaupre, and Herdina just hammered it right off his body. I don't think he knew where that puck was.
Right after that, he had a chance to put it back on the net. Buffalo has taken a 1-0 lead over the Boston Bruins at the end of one at Boston. Who scored that goal? Svoboda, the former Canadian. Montreal leads 1-0. Gilbert Dion has scored against the Hartford Whalers in the first. And the Rangers' Darren Turcotte continues his hot scoring pace. Had a hat trick against the Penguins the other night and gets the first goal of the playoffs. The Rangers lead New Jersey 1-0. First period at New York. And it comes back into the left wing corner of the Capitals end. Dealt behind the net. Here's Francis trying to turn with a wraparound. That's stopped by Beaupre. Off the left wing side in a scoreless game. Gordy Roberts goes in. He'll put it in front. It bounces wildly behind the cage. The Penguins turn in center, but the Capitals. Sylvain Cote sends it ahead of the left wing to Randy Burridge. Burridge had a career here. Vavanka right side. Here's Bondre in on goal. His shot. He scores. Peter Bondra gets the opening goal this game, and the Capitals lead 1-0.
Gordy Roberts went in deep on the play on the left side. He came backpedaling out of the Washington zone and never got track of Peter Bondra. He came over to this side to play the puck and never knew that Bondra had sneaked in behind him. He was wide open at the blue line. He cut in on Barrasso. Bondra has gotten much better at finishing plays like this, and he was able to slip it under the glove hand side of Barrasso, right under his arm, to give the Caps a 1-0 lead. But Gordy Roberts just simply went the wrong way. See where he is? He's way over across the ice, and 3 players over on one side on one man, nobody on Peter Bondra, and he walked in and scored the goal. Roberts never looked that way when he backed out of the Washington zone. He never looked to his left. His attention stayed to the right, and Bondra just came right up that right side and walked right into score.
So Peter Bondra, who at 28 of the regular season, gets the first goal of the playoffs for the Capitals, and they lead 1-0 here at home against the Penguins. And Calle Johansson slip it up to center to John Druce, and here he is on the move to the Penguins end on the right wing to Adam May. May is crushed by Samuelson on a booming check in the corner. As Samuelson lined him up. Now it'll be Ron Francis. Oh, a heavy hit by Ulf Samuelson, who has been rattled himself here. May steps into him again. And Kevin Hatcher now turns the puck back in behind the Penguin goal. And Barrasso will get the puck to Ulf Samuelson. Right wing to Joey Mullen on the left side. Got Loney cutting back to the Capitals in. A slap shot. He shoots and scores. Troy Loney ties the game for the Penguins. Oh, no. Eddie Spaghetti. Troy Loney doesn't score a whole lot of goals like that, but a heavy slap shot from 35 beats Beaupre, and the Penguins have tied it.
Loney is noted more for a good hard snap shot or a wrist shot. Well, that one was just a tremendous slap shot, and it looked like it beat Beaupre between the pads.
So the Penguins have tied it at 1 apiece.
The puck was skipping over the stick of Dave Tippett right onto the stick of Loney, and he drilled it, I think, between the legs of Beaupre. He just didn't react well to that shot.
Ulf Samuelson assisting. And I think it was Herdina was the other assist, if I'm not mistaken. Joey Mullen, I'm sorry. Joey Mullen made the pass over to Loney, that rink-wide pass. You know, Loney may have fooled Beaupre on that because he doesn't take many shots like that, and he just cranked it up, and Donnie might have expected him to do something else with it. Here is Ridley. Now on a 1-1 tie. Both clubs scoring very quickly. Here's a long shot deflected wide of the Penguin net. So we went scoreless in the first period. The two clubs score goals 38 seconds apart to tie the game at 1. Larry Murphy roll it down the right wing into the Capital zone, and Beaupre watches the play, so it'll be an icing call here against Pittsburgh. 15:44 left in the first period, second period, and we're tied at 1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
You can count on Sears Brand Central for all the brand name electronics and appliances you want. No wonder more people buy more top name brands from the store they trust. And now you can save $100 on this 386 SX 20 megahertz Packard Bell computer with 105 megabyte hard drive. Or get this full-size LXI or Fisher 8mm camcorder for a very low $5.99. Your choice, only at Sears Brand Central.
Troy Loney is first in the playoffs. Ulf Samuelson and Joey Mullen again on the assist. And Loney this year, probably more than any other in his 8 or 9 years with the Penguins, has had some of the prettiest goals he's scored in his career.
I'll tell you, I think Troy Loney's been playing the best hockey of his career here in the last month. He had stretches where he was really hot in the scoring department in his career, but he was doing a great job of killing penalties and playing defensively for the Penguins right before the strike.
Nothing overly spectacular about the goal he scored, but here's Bob Airey now to the Capitals end. But he doesn't score too often on a long slap shot. You can count on one hand, I think, in his career, the long-range slap shot like he had there where he's put it in the net. And Dale Hunter, Capital center iceman, gave it away. Kevin Stevens tried to feather it over to Trottier, intercepted by Hunter. Again, the Penguins without Mario Lemieux, the league's leading scorer. Unable to play in this game because of a bruised shoulder, and now Hunter gets involved. And who's he going to?
Paul Stanton.
Paul Stanton. They're in against the boards. McDermott was knocked off his skates, went right into the Penguin net and knocked it off its moorings. And Dale Hunter, who's been kind of quiet here so far tonight, involved with Paul Stanton. The Capitals have had the only 2 power play chances in this game. The game is tied at 1, and both of those came in the first period. Well, I think penalty time will be issued here against Stanton and Hunter. We'll be back tied at 1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.